mags. Great. Hey guys, welcome back to our little mountain hide. It kind of feels like winter in June up here at the moment, but today we're going to show you another MDRX conversion. This is one we've been asked about quite a bit, which is how to install the side ejecting conversion kit onto your forward ejecting MDR. A lot of guys out there have forward ejecting MDRs or MDRXs. That's what we've sold most of, and they want to know how to install the side eject kit into that MDR that they already have. So today we're going to go over that, and right here I have a 308 MDRX with the 20-inch 308 barrel in it, and we're going to put this 16-inch 556 side ejecting conversion kit. We're going to show you the tools you'll need, as well as the different parts kits. From us on our website, you can order a side eject to forward eject kit, which will come with the forward ejecting parts that aren't included in your rifle, or if you've got a forward ejecting rifle like this one, you can buy a side eject kit, which will come with the ejection port and the bolt carrier spacer and so on. Here we're going to show you the side eject specific parts of the side eject MDRX conversion kit. You've got a 223 barrel assembly, the bolt that goes with it, you've got the ejection port and the cover that goes opposite of that. So these two pieces will go onto the receiver. There's this bolt carrier spacer that attaches to the side of the bolt carrier. So you can see it goes on like that. And that's the main purpose of that, is to close the gaps here to keep foreign debris from getting in there. You've also got the firing pin retainer here. That is specific to the side eject because it doubles as a retainer for this piece when installed on the bolt carrier. All right, here are the 4 parts that are not included with your side eject conversion kit. These parts are not caliber specific, so they don't come with the caliber conversion kit. These are available as a separate conversion kit called the forward eject to side eject chassis upgrade kit. So the 4 parts included are the bolt carrier spacer here, the side port cover, the gasket that goes underneath it, and the side eject specific firing pin retainer. These parts are included on your chassis if you bought it as a side eject chassis, but if you have a forward ejecting chassis or rifle, then you will need to purchase this kit in addition to the side eject caliber conversion kit. So if you're upgrading your MDRX from a side eject to a forward eject, you're going to need some additional parts. The parts you're going to need are the ejector panel itself, these 2 retainers that will go on either side of the receiver. They'll get replaced using the screw that's already in place on the receiver, as well as this new firing pin retainer that is configured for the forward eject. The ejection chute panel will come with your forward ejecting conversion kit, whether it's 308, 223, or 65, whatever it may be. Since these are caliber specific, these will come with the conversion kit. Hopefully that all makes sense. If you have any questions, comment below or give us a call. We'll be happy to explain it to you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start our conversion from this forward ejecting 308 into a side ejecting 556. So the tools we're going to need is our 5mm hex bit for removing the barrel from the chassis. We've also got on our T25 for removing the handguard, and then I also have here a T15 Torx driver, which is used for changing out the panel retainers here. So the first thing we're going to do, of course, is we're going to clear the rifle, make sure it's safe, empty magazine. We'll stroke the rifle a couple of times. If you have any doubts, like always, you could check the chamber there or through here. If you really want to get particular, you can pull the ejection chute off and check the chamber that way as well. We're taking that off anyways because we are not going to have it on the rifle for the conversion. So now that we made sure our rifle's clear, we'll go ahead and remove both of the ejector panels. So this is our forward ejecting panel and our ejection chute. Once we've got those off, we can pop open the rifle and we will change our bolt, because that is obviously going to be an issue with the 308 to 556 conversion. So we pull out our bolt carrier, and as with any MDR bolt conversion, we pop out our firing pin retainer. The firing pin then pops out the back. We can rotate the cam pin and pull the bolt out. So there's our 308 forward ejecting bolt. We'll replace that with the side ejecting 5.56 bolt. Now here's another neat little feature. You can set up your side eject rifle to eject either the right or the left side. So this is the part where you have to pay attention to that. If you want to eject out the side, you want the extractor on the right side. If you want to eject out the left, you put the extractor on the left side, whichever way you want to have it go. I'm going to set this up for a right-hand eject because I'm not wrong. And then, so with my extractor on the right side of the bolt carrier, I put my cam pin back in, followed by my firing pin. I can line it up there. And then I'm going to put in my new firing pin retainer. So there's two different firing pin retainers. One is for the forward eject, and the side eject has a slightly longer one with a little tab at the end of it. The purpose of that part is to hold on this bolt carrier spacer here. This part here serves as a filler, basically, to close the void between the bolt carrier and the ejection chute port here so that it doesn't let any debris in. So we use our forward ejecting firing pin retainer that goes in here that also holds on this bolt carrier spacer. So there, our bolt carrier is done. We can put it back into the rifle. And you'll notice it won't go all the way in because the barrel extension for the forward eject and side eject are slightly different, so it won't mesh there, so we can't close our bolt all the way. While I've got the receiver separated like this, I'm going to take advantage of swapping out the ejection port and cover on the opposite side. These retainers here are for holding on the forward ejecting parts. We will remove the screw here with our T15 Torx driver, and you can see I've got my finger underneath there. That is to hold the nut plate on the back so that it doesn't fall off. So I've taken off that retainer, and now since I'm setting up for a right-hand eject, I'm going to put my ejection port on. You drop it in and slide it forward all the way. So make sure you can see it slide back and forth, so make sure it slid forward all the way. And then using the exact same screw that held on our ejection panel retainer, we just tighten that back up, and that holds our ejection port on. Okay, so there's that side. We'll flip it over and do the other side, which is just a cover. Now this cover comes with a little foam rubber gasket on the back. Be very careful as you swap this back and forth that you don't damage that gasket, otherwise you might have a little bit of leakage coming out. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We'll remove our ejector retainer here, pop it out of the way, and then we'll put this cover on this opposite side. Same thing, forward into the front, push it down, use the exact same screw we did that we held on our other retainer with, and we'll go ahead and torque this down as well. You can check the manual there for your torque spec. Okay, so now that we've got that done, all that's left is our barrel. So we're gonna go ahead and pop loose our handguard, except I gotta remove these two. So I remove these two screws on the handguard, just loosen them a quarter turn or so, and then we remove our handguard. Now we can remove the barrel, and we do this the same way with every MDR conversion. You loosen the barrel tension screws first, and then you can rotate your barrel lock. Make sure you always rotate the barrel lock when these screws are loose, otherwise you may experience a problem. So here's our 20-inch 308 barrel, and we will replace it with our 16-inch 5.56 barrel. Slide it into the chassis, bottom it out all the way. Now you'll notice, after I get this in, so again, we'll lock our barrel with the tension screws loose, and then we'll torque those down to the 80 inch-pounds. Okay, and now that that has been done, you'll notice that our bolt goes all the way in the way it's supposed to. So now we're good there. Now all we need to do is put our receivers back together, and throw our handguard on, put our pin back through, and snug down these handguard screws like that. Okay, almost done, right? Missing one thing, our magazine well. The way to do that, I'm going to do this up here, hopefully you can see it. So I'm just using my T15 Torx. I push in on the mag bar and rotate it out like that. And then this magazine catches on a little dovetail with a snap. So I just pop that loose. There's my 308 mag catch. and I'll go ahead and replace it with my 5.56 mag catch that just slides on and snaps in. Then I can take my magazine spacer, I just kind of rotate it in from the front like that, snaps in, and then we rotate our magazine catch back into place. If I can get it in there, there we go. Just like that. Check it for function, and we're good. Now all we need is our 5.56 magazine, and we'll be ready to go. So let's fire it and see what happens. We'll throw a couple of quick mags with a change in through it and make sure everything is functional. It's good to go there. Let's see how she does. Locks back. Again. Folks, we've got lock back on an empty chamber. Everything seems to work perfect on it. We are ready to go. So that is how you perform a forward eject to a side eject conversion on the MDR or MDRX. As a matter of fact, just to make this fun, how about we take this older MDR and put it into here? Same thing. Let's try it. All right, so here we go. We're gonna turn this little MDR here into a forward eject MDR. So, as we did with the other one, we're gonna start, well, we're gonna do this one a little bit different, and I'll show you why in just a moment. We'll start by popping our handguard off, as always. Slide that off. Then we're gonna pull our barrel out, loosen the tension screws, undo the lock, pull back, out comes the barrel. So there's our forward eject 5.56. Now remember, this one's a 5.56, so it's going to be slightly less of a change to do because we don't have to change this mag weld or mag catch. So we'll go ahead and pop loose these forward ejecting parts because we won't be needing those. And then here is where the difference is going to be with an MDR versus an MDRX. I'll show you the difference in the parts in just a sec here as I get them out. So this is our MDRX, or excuse me, getting this backwards. This is our MDR bolt carrier right here with my forward ejecting 5.56 bolt in it. Forgive the filthiness, folks. She gets a lot of use. What we'll do now, I'm going to pull the parts out of this one so I can show you the difference. I'm going to go ahead and pull the bolt carrier out because that is what, oops. That is actually where the difference is most relevant. Okay, so we'll pull out this bolt carrier as well. So here's our MDR bolt carrier, here's our MDRX bolt carrier. As you can see, this one's got the spacer on to cover up the ejection port. And if I put this guy over, I'll pull this apart and show you. So if I pull out the firing pin retainer on this, you pull it out, you can see there's an extra hole on the X carrier. Now, that is required for the MDRX conversion kit, for the side eject conversion kit. So if you have an older MDR, you may need to get the newer bolt carrier if you want to run the side eject conversion kit. If you don't want to run the side conversion kit, it doesn't really matter because the only difference is that for this piece. So I'm going to swap the entire bolt carrier because, as I mentioned, this one won't work for the side eject. So we'll put this piece back on so you can, there we go, and put our pin back in to hold that in place. So now we can throw this MDRX bolt carrier in my MDR and we can slap that together. Now we have to do the ejection parts again. Got to switch my driver back. So again, we'll loosen these screws out right here, finger on the back to hold the nut plate so it doesn't fall out. Then I'll come over to this one and I'll take off my side eject cover. There's the nut plate come off with it, or on my finger. So we'll put this guy on like that. And then using the same screw again, we put her back in there and snug it down. Again, be be careful with the little foam rubber gasket that is underneath this cover so you don't tear it. And then we'll flip it over and do the same thing on the opposite side. So here we're taking the ejection port, slide it back and off, and then we need to remove our keeper on this one. And then we put this guy on here, down and forward. Holding my nut plate back in position. Believe it or not, folks, this is the first time this gun's ever seen the side eject conversion kit. So here's our true test of how we're gonna work. So we've got our side eject parts on here. We've got our side eject bolt carrier in there. We can go ahead and close up the receiver. We don't need to change the mag well like we did on the other one because this gun was already set up in 5.56. We grab our, wrong one. That's the forward eject. We need the side eject. Probably not a bad idea to make sure you have your different parts labeled, or at least keep them in different places so that you don't accidentally mingle the parts. Gotta pull our handguard off here. There we go. So here's our side ejecting barrel. We'll drop it into MDR chassis here, drop it into the bottom, good to go. Then we'll lock our barrel, snug it down with our 80 inch-pound torque wrench. Then we just need to drop our handguard back on and snug it down. And then just like that, our older MDR is now basically an MDRX side eject. So we're ready to go there. Perfect. So there we have it. Now we just need to test fire this one. Let's see how it works here. Okay, so we got a couple mags, a couple rounds. We'll test fire this one, make sure everything works properly. As you can see, I don't need a scope on this gun because I'm just that good. All right, let's see how she does. MDRX or MDR, you can see the side eject kit drops in. Total party.